that was written 100 years after. Okay? Literally 100 years, like 700 years after. Do you know who wrote it? Not the original writing. I'm talking about the manuscript, the copies that King James is based upon. That copy is a copy of 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 the original one. We don't have the original one. We don't have the copy of the original one. We don't have the copy of the copy of the original one, or the copy of the copy of the copy of the original one. We have the copy of the. We have literally a copy that came 100 years after. We don't know who wrote it. If we don't know who wrote it, can we trust them?
I understand it because God give me the guidance. I mean, I understand.
So you regard this. So you.
Yeah.
Now,
I read it and I trust it.
so do you know who wrote it? The copy. أكسر الله كاتب. أكسر الله كاتب. محمد ازيكم. السلام عليكم. The manuscript I'm talking about. Do you know who wrote it? You don't know, because even Christian scholars don't know.
Yeah, but there are so many people.
No, if you don't know, how can you trust them?
I trust it because the Holy Spirit. Father, I mean the Holy, it's like.
That's not proof because.
It's a spirit. It's a
Okay.
spirit of Islam. It's a spirit of God.
If you believe in Bible, sorry,
It's a wrong.
Matthew 24:24, he said even a false prophet can have miracle. So you tell me Holy Spirit, it can be false one, because Jesus said even the false prophet can do miracles and a great wonder. Yeah. So you telling me Holy Spirit came to you? How do you know that is the Holy Spirit? You got it from the Bible, correct? How do you know? How do you know what is being said about the Bible, about the Holy Spirit is true? Maybe they're lying.
No. I follow how Jesus Christ lived his life.
How do you know how he lived? Maybe they're lying. How do you know?
The Bible is very, because there are people who live like Jesus Christ in these days.
How do you know? No, I'm talking. In order to know about Jesus, you have to go to the Bible. Those who wrote the Bible, the copy that King James is based upon, we don't have the original writings. Yeah, the copies that we have, we don't know the writers. They could be liars, evildoers. If this is the case, how can you trust them? Maybe they're lying against Jesus. How do you know they're saying the truth? You can't tell me because I feel like it.
No, but not about feeling.
Yeah.
It's about true.
How do you know it's true if you don't know them?
But it's true because you live with people like they live like Jesus Christ.
How do you know how Jesus lived?
The Bible say.
But
the Bible,
the rights,
I look
brother, step by step. The writers of the Bible, you don't know them. They could be lying about Jesus. How do you know what they said about Jesus is true?
The Quran is the same. You know who write the Quran?
And I know Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar ibn Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan, Muawiyah ibn Sufyan. Now who wrote the Bible?
So many times only these people write
We
the
know,
Quran.
we know them very well. We know, like, we have Isnad. We Muslims, when it comes to Quran, not like you. You follow manuscripts. We don't follow manuscripts. Quran, like, for example, to show you the Quran has been preserved and is the same Quran. Now, if the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians burn their scriptures, all of us burn our scriptures, the only book that we can have with us is the Quran. The Quran, it has been memorized by 100 million of Muslims, word for word, letter for letter. It's like now alphabet. Now we don't have to write the alphabet to know it.
Yeah, but they
So
go
my
so
point-
many hands. The Quran
Before-
is going so many hands.
Hands,
And
what's
you
that mean?
don't- I mean, you don't know who.
many hands wrote the Quran? That's what you think.
No, we know them very well. We know
But you are there to see.
we know that we have, for example, look, I know you, yes?
Yeah.
You know him. So we have chain of narrations, okay? Called chain of narrations. We don't rely on the manuscript, okay? For example, he was in Speaker's Corner last week. I know him as a trustworthy, truthful person. Before I take, I know he's a trustworthy, truthful. So he said something happened, I'll take it from him. When it comes to Quran, since the time of Prophet Muhammad, we have scholars of Quran sitting down in the mosque of Medina, Prophet Muhammad's mosque, teaching the Quran, 100 million witnesses, not 2, 5. That's how the Quran passed down to us. We can trace back to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now when it comes to Bible, you don't have that. You have to rely on the manuscript. And when you rely on the manuscript, you don't know who wrote the manuscript. If you don't know, there could be liars. If there are liars and you're not sure, how can you fool it?
It is a change between Orthodox Bible and Pentecost. A little change, but.
But all of you
it's
rely
less-
on the manuscript. All of you.
But
It's not the same. Catholics
it's-
books different.
Yeah,
Protestant is different, and it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not the same. They have some changing.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
but
look,
they're
what,
not big.
focus on the main point. The main point is, imagine, and now we find the manuscript. It says Nigeria. You know, Nigeria is in Africa.
Yeah.
It says Nigeria and China. I'm not gonna say, oh, this manuscript backdates 500 years ago. Therefore, I'm gonna follow it. I'm not gonna say that because why? The question you ask yourself, who wrote the manuscript? Correct? You're gonna ask. Like so
But
this man,
nobody know in the
Sinaiticus,
future.
Sinaiticus,
Nobody know in the past.
Sinaiticus manuscript that we have was written 100 years after. So it was written by people who don't know. You are following it and you tell me they lived out like Jesus lived, but you don't know how Jesus lived. What we say to you, when you come to Islam, like I said to you, look, the Muslims, we don't rely on a manuscript. Yes.
So I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Can I just say one thing, please?
What do you
And I'm
wanna
gonna
say?
go. You know what he said about how the Quran was revealed? Basically, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he revealed it to his companions. His companions then sat down like this in Medina, the same tradition. He sat down with the
Yeah.
companions sat down, people circling and listening.
So we still have the same
If
tradition,
one
yeah.
person make a mistake, yeah, everyone there, look, they'll say something, or the teacher himself will say something, and it'll be corrected. This tradition has not stopped.
Yeah,
La
is it-
ilaha illallah. Allah
the
says in
Quran-
the Quran, He will preserve it, and you know the ayah.
No,
Allah will
wait.
preserve it
Also,
and
the
safeguard it.
Quran, not like the Bible. Remember, Bible was only said openly. We were scared. Recently, what's his name? The Protestant. That's when they start asking for the rabbi, for the priest. Not everyone was able to have a Bible. Quran is openly recited all the time. You know, we have children from the tradition. You teach your children Quran and so on. My point, when you come to Islam, we look at the Quran, how we preserve it, how we teach it openly, recite it in the masajid, all of that. But when it comes to Christianity, we don't know the Bible. Not even from within the Bible. Yes, from within the Bible. The doctrine of the Bible, yeah? The doctrine of the Bible that you believe, like you said Jesus is God. Okay? Okay. Is God perfect?
God is perfect.
Has perfect, everything.
And Jesus was perfect on earth.
So when he didn't know the hour, was he perfect in knowledge?
Yeah.
But he didn't know the hour, how can he be perfect in knowledge?
He was not. God give him. God show him.
But I thought he was God.
God from show him because there are three Holy Spirit.
No, but I thought Jesus was God. How God showed him?
Yeah. Because you know why? Because Jesus come on earth and Jesus Christ cannot.
Akhi, where's my book?
Jesus Christ cannot say.
Look what you praise.
Jesus Christ cannot say I am God because you know if
That's a
it's
blasphemy.
different.
How?
No,
God doesn't say I'm God.
Yeah, but let me tell you, because if you say if I'm saying I'm the most strongest man, that means I'm showing I'm show to myself. Pride.
So why the
Pride.
Father said I'm God?
Pride.
Why the
Show
Father?
pride.
Why the
Pride.
Father said I'm God then?
And it was failing.
No, wait.
So-
Why the Father said I'm God? Is
You
the
were
Father?
saying to apostle, if you see me, you see God. You
No,
are
he says
the-
see the Father.
Yeah, you see the
But that's
Father
not
there.
true.
Yeah,
That's not true. You know why?
you trust him.
No, listen carefully. You said he didn't want to say he's God because you become arrogant.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
does it-
yeah.
But
Because-
wait. The Father said he's God. So is the Father arrogant?
Yeah, because
The Father's
no,
arrogant.
he was human.
No.
So he
You
was
know,
like
listen,
us.
you know, understand what I'm saying.
Let me.
You know, the Father.
Yeah.
He said clearly he's God.
Yeah.
So why the Father was not? Why the Father is not?
Jesus Christ, human, say this,
So the Father was the Father arrogant to say he's God.
but he was flesh. You cannot say this. He cannot say it like I don't know how to say it. I mean, they must know to not sin. I mean, if you say,
Yes, you
I'm
made
the
it up.
Father,
You're making it up. This one. You are making up this one.
Yeah.
How
because-
God's gonna be shy to say I'm not God? Come
No,
on, bro. Like, this doesn't make any
no.
sense, man.
Let me tell you something. Because Jesus Christ see the world different. You believe in Satan, no?
I
He's
believe in Satan. Yeah,
The demons,
demons. Yeah, I believe.
all this.
Jinn. We call them jinn.
Yeah, but believe, yeah, they're on earth, these demons, and Jesus Christ see the world different. Then
What I'm
human
saying to
see.
you, look. What I'm saying to you, the Father clearly said He's God. Yes. Assalamu alaikum. But Jesus was on the earth. Jesus said the true God is the Father, not Him. He said the Father. But you believe Jesus God doesn't make any sense. You believe God become a baby, someone changes nappy, doesn't make any sense. You know that deep down
He was
doesn't make
coming
any
in
sense.
the world to fix, like I said, to fix the
I have to
problem.
go. Like this doesn't make any
Okay.
sense, man. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Have a nice
Bye.
evening, inshallah. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.
You too. May Allah guide you.